Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Wow, Aeon card. Judgment, rebirth, reawakening, a baptism by fire. This is a portal, this is a doorway, okay? This is our first card called Station. This represents kind of like what's on your mind when you close your eyes. I think when you close your eyes, you see a doorway to another world. I think that maybe this is us kind of, realizing in our own private space that I can change my life at any moment. Maybe we feel like we're being called. Okay, sometimes this is not the spiritual watch, the spiritual timepiece, but the spiritual alarm clock. This is the angel blowing the trumpet right in your face saying it's time. And maybe right now we just hear it as a distant buzzing of the alarm clock, a distant voice, a distant flute, some faint music or something, but it's something that's trying to wake us up to a different life, wake us up to our true purpose. We need to put this card into a little bit of context. This is a very interesting way to begin. This to me seems urgent. We have the Eight of Swords, the intellectual noise. We have a Prince of Cups. We have a Knight of Swords. We have the Universe. We have a Four of Wands. We have a Prince of Pentacles. A lot of court cards now. 3 court cards so far. A 4th court card. A Princess of Cups. An Ace of Pentacles. But the 7 of Swords. There is some, I feel like spirit guides. I feel like all the court cards here are like your spirit crew, that there's a cluster of energies around you. And I kind of feel like you're being watched, I feel like there is a very strong cluster of divine energy that has been watching you and has kind of trying to signal to you that you're ready for something. That they've been knocking at your door. It seems kind of eerie, doesn't it? But they're trying to wake you up. Maybe you've noticed it in dreams or fantasies or daydreams. I think you've been noticing way more synchronicities in life. Way more things in life that it's kind of a fish in a percolator. Princess of Cups in the environment here. I feel like you've been seeing things that shouldn't be there, but they are. It's these synchronicities, these symbols, these neon signs that Spirit is sending your way. And it may be your spirit guides. It may be some ancestor energy. It may be a group of departed loved ones, right? But there's some force that's trying to they're knocking on your door. Because they've been watching you. Not in a creepy way, right? It's not Rockwell and it's, why does it feel like somebody's watching me kind of thing, but like they've been keeping their eye on you. And I think that they're trying to tell you that it's time to make a very major decision in your life. I think you know what I'm talking about. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. As we look around the room, two major arcana cards. The doorway to a new universe. Spirit, in a way, is saying that, or whatever this energy is, whoever these, I don't know even what to call them, these intelligences, spirits, relatives, guides, whoever these agents are that are around you right now are trying to tell you that the old universe, the life as you knew it, is over. Don't cling to it. Go through the doorway, complete this cycle, and your new universe awaits you. Okay. Now, Spirit's saying something that happened when you were 13 years old. It has something to do with building something in the forest, if it was an altar or it was some kind of a, I don't know, I feel like you were stacking something up or something like that. Something happened when you were 13 that I'm seeing it presented to me as you stacking something. Okay? I don't know exactly what that is yet. We have our two major arcana energies. We've got fire, we've got water, we've got air, we've got earth cards. Okay. Quite heavy on the air. Of course, that makes sense because your rational conscious mind is trying to say, no, wait a minute. Card 2 is the battlefield position, and it's analysis. This is complexity. And that's your challenge right now. That's your quest, is to overcome the complexity, because what happens is when we start to feel the nudge from Spirit, when we start to hear the distant sound of the flute kind of singing our song, and we start to feel the summons, our conscious rational mind is going to start rationalizing, explaining it away, overanalyzing it to the point where I don't need to respond to that. We start making excuses, kind of like you get the jury duty in the mail, right? Saying, I have all these reasons, I want to write a letter. I have all these reasons why I can't go. It's kind of like that with the spiritual summons. That as soon as we receive the spiritual summons, or we know that it's knocking at the door, our conscious mind is going to start finding ways to explain it as something else. No, that's not spirit. No, that's just my ego, or that's just my fear, or that's just wishful thinking. No, I can't do that. I can't make these changes. I can't change my life. Or we start, our thoughts start going a mile a minute. Okay? And we end up weaving a tangle of thoughts around ourselves, and we're stuck. That's what this card is. It's a bundle of wires that we're making things way too complex than they need to be, way more complex than they are. So what's on the table for you right now is this need for simplicity. It's a very simple message. We don't need to make it more complicated. The message is, go through the doorway, change your life. Stop clinging to the old thing, the old path, the old plan. Go through this door and change your life. That past universe doesn't exist anymore. The only thing that exists is this present moment and this decision that you have to make to step through this doorway and create your world. Create your future. You're creating your reality. I think you know what you want your reality to look like. This card is at the top of the path of the dove. It's your conscious awareness. It's looming over the spread. Okay, and this card is saying, this is what you want to create. This is the universe that's out there for you. I think it's a universe full of love, full of connections, full of beauty, full of awe and wonder. It's a universe full of abundance. It's a universe full of possibility. Okay, it's a universe, and it may look like a particular landscape to you. You may look at your future and the world, your ideal world, right? You may look at it and think, I got a little house, I got some land, there's a couple of trees, I've got my pets, my plants, my people. Like, I feel like you have an image in mind of where you would be. What corner of the world, what corner of the universe you would like to call home. This is a card that's calling you home, maybe to a place you've never been. You feel called to somewhere. This is sometimes a card of travel. So you might be feeling summoned to literally a new place on the globe, okay? I'm seeing a South American connection, but then also kind of like a European connection for you. So I don't know if those are a couple of options or what those are about, but this might be the summons to go through this doorway, leave all your old plans behind, and kind of relocate your spirit. Build the universe that really speaks to you. Build the life that you want. Sometimes the universe card is a blank slate. Maybe Spirit's way of saying, look, get rid of the old universe. It's not for you anymore. The old universe has been crushed. The past is dust. The future is what it still exists in potential form. Go through that doorway, you're creating your reality. Yeah. Now, you press flowers or something, right? Or there's something that you do with the rose petals. Or I don't know if you press flowers or you dry flowers or something like that. Or maybe you're with the rose, maybe you're like making rose water or something like that, yeah. This is a divine doorway. Let's do a divine doorway oracle card since we're here. Maybe to help us get through this tangle of wires. A stranger's grace. Ego fears the sudden danger, but never underestimate the kindness of a loving stranger. Okay, the kindness of a loving stranger. The conscious mind is going to fear these messages from Spirit. Just the idea of we're being watched, right? Makes our conscious mind paranoid, nervous, suspicious, untrusting. Okay, this is a divine watcher. This is a guardian for you. Could be that you are surrounded by aliens or angels or loved ones or ancestors or spirit guides, okay? Or positive, loving well wishes of your friends and family, okay? But there is something that is happening to you psychically that's trying to open your mind up to this. But of course, the conscious mind, the ego fears the sudden danger. What do you mean I'm being watched, right? You're being watched by the divine. You're being divinely guided. The Spirit is at your door and asking you to step through the door. Again, this is that doorway. And it may feel foreign. This may feel like a very alien thing. I didn't meant to say alien. I meant to say angel, right? But it may feel like this is a very strange occurrence. And we're feeling suddenly drawn to a place that we've never been. We feel homesick for a land that we've never visited. Underneath the surface, you have a very authentic Prince of Cups deep inside of your soul. Your soul is speaking to you. Your soul is watching. Your own spirit is watching you. This is your inner authenticity. I think deep down, this is something that your soul wants. But our conscious mind, the ego, has forgotten. Okay? I think you have visited this place before, maybe in a past life, maybe in a dream that you don't remember. A fragment of a memory from a forgotten life, but it's still in there somewhere. Okay? Something realizes that this ideal future that you want to build is home. Okay? And so as we're looking at these two positions, we feel like the universe hasn't been created yet. This is infinite potential. This is the authenticity deep in your soul that knows what to create. And if you trust in this spiritual impulse, you will create the universe that will resonate with you. But you have to go through this doorway, into the future, away from the past. The past doesn't exist anymore. So the Prince of Cups is a fixed water energy. There is something, if we tap into this, if we listen to the music, right, it will lead us home. Now, my ears just started ringing. My left ear just started ringing. And anytime it's the left ear, to me, that is an unseen, hidden force that's trying to communicate. I was going with my right ear, saying, "Oh, you're listening to something." No, it's something that's happening internally. Okay, I don't think obviously that there's somebody literally knocking at your door. Maybe there is. I feel like it's kind of that inner perception. And I feel like it does happen in dreams or visions rather than it happening kind of out in the world, right? But there is still something about that external perception, as we'll talk about with the Princess of Cups. The internal perception is down here with the Prince of Cups. This is that inner authenticity, that inner knowing, that inner truth, that if we can bypass this overthinking, overly analytical, rational mind, we can perceive this. This is a heart level, soul level truth. This is our rational mind trying to explain it away. No, that's just my mind playing tricks on me. No, I should follow the plan. I should stick with the plan I'm on, the path that I'm on. Well, what is this past universe? Well, it's our Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is looking toward the future. All of the knights look toward the future. So to me, this feels like this is the old plan that we had. This was the old vision that we had for our life. This is the track that I thought I was on. This is where I was. This is where I thought I was going, and all the way in between. Okay? But this has become air. It's dry, right? To me, this is us realizing that the trajectory that I was on previously wasn't going to lead me to happiness. It was going to, where does the Knight of Swords go? The Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is that pointless outcome, the dry, desiccated destination. I think we're realizing that the path I was on wasn't going to take me anywhere I wanted to go. And so as we're perceiving this, as we're listening to the voice of Spirit now, we're perceiving our old plan, our old vision of life as being devoid of meaning and purpose. Not that it was a waste of time, not that it was actually pointless, but we're looking at this plan and thinking, there's no water there. I don't want to go that way. I would die of thirst that way. But this is that old universe that now is turned to dust. Why? Because it's all the water's left it. The moisture is gone. It's been dehydrated. I think Spirit's trying to tell you to drink more water also, but that this previous trajectory we were on, that path, the plan that we had for our life, or the way I thought my life was going, is now we're looking at it, we're realizing that it's dehydrated. And I think desiccated, because dehydrated implies that you can rehydrate it. Dehydrated implies that I can just put water back into this and it'll be a perfectly good path again. I think desiccated is the way, because it's the realization that I can pour water on this all day and now my throat's getting dry. Now I'm feeling dehydrated. I can pour water on this all day, but I'm not going to be able to revive it. Let me drink some of my matcha here. Cold matcha, my favorite. So this is the past that's turning to dust, right? It's turning to dust because it's all the moisture has been taken from it. We realize that it's not the path for us. And so we're going up top here and we're thinking, okay, well, since that's become dust, the past, right? What is the future going to be? What is the universe I want to create? We have to listen to that inner voice. We have to listen to this urgent message. Because the sooner we realize this path, whatever this was, this is the career, the relationship, this is where you live, this is like maybe just life generally has kind of lost its depth and its meaning and its purpose here. We have to go through that doorway and say, okay, well, I can be done with that. This might be the entire life or just one particular ray of sunshine, okay, one particular thread of your life. Realize that, okay, I don't need to stick with this. I can create my universe. I can create my world. The universe, some aspect of the universe is calling you home. Okay. Now, you have a collection of like broken jewelry or something, right? In like I feel like it's in a jar, but maybe it's like some kind of a box, but it's broken. I don't know if it's like valuable jewelry or like costume jewelry or something, but it's like kind of just like broken bits and pieces of it. Yeah. And the doodles, you're always like drawing a spiral in your journal or your notebook, or there's some kind of a doodle that you're always doing. What is that doodle? Maybe that's part of the external manifestation of some of this spiritual impulse, okay? Now, in the future position, you have your Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of completion. The Four of Wands is closure. Okay, it's kind of like We have to understand that one circle has to close for the other one to open. Okay, it's kind of, this is almost a revolving door in a way. It's saying we don't want to go through this doorway and end up just kind of, whoops, getting stuck in the roundabout. Do you have roundabouts where you live? We have roundabouts here, and I don't like them. But the idea is that we don't want to get stuck in that roundabout, and then, we're just keep revisiting the same thing over and over again. We get stuck. Okay, we get stuck in this thought and the kind of this idea of the future, and then we start thinking about the past. We're kind of anxious, and then we get stuck in a loop. Well, that's if we follow our Eight of Swords, that's what's going to happen. This is the card of both a welcome home and a bon voyage. It's a coming and a going. It's kind of a revolving door in a way. But we want to sort of break with this particular pattern and be free of this. We don't want to go this way forward. We want to go up here. But as the next step for you, Spirit's saying that the next step is to close this cycle, to finish this phase, to complete this work. You have extracted everything you could from this plan that you had. And it's time to wrap that up. It's time to go through the door. Okay? Whatever that was, it feels like it was a temporary place. All the fours of the tarot were kind of asking us, well, are we ready for the five? It's kind of like we've overstayed our welcome here. It's time to leave the party. Your host is coming out in their bathrobe and saying, I got to go to bed. This is a campfire that we set up. We put the stones there, we get the wood, we light the fire, we warm our hands, we dry our socks, we cook our beans, and then the next day, we put the fire out, we set the stones back where they were, we brush away any trace that we were there, and we move on. The fire has been reduced to ashes. And those ashes are just being reincorporated into the landscape, and it's like it never happened, kind of, But the traveler has the memory, okay? And so I wonder if this is part of the feeling tone for you, is that we almost feel as if we are a traveler through life, that we're collecting memories and experiences and impressions, but once we move on, it's like, is there going to be anything left of us? Okay? It's kind of like, will there be a trace of me still when I'm gone? And that we can talk about that in the context of our universe and our Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is this previous path that I've been on now is turned to dust, and guess what? The dust will scatter to the wind. There will be no trace of it left. Okay? Maybe this universe card is up here saying we are being called on to create something that will be around even after we're gone. I feel like the mystery card will be the death card. What is it that we need to create that will be our legacy, that will be our immortality? We're creating a family. Are we creating a business? Are we creating art? What are we doing, I think you're being called to a new place and kind of like a new purpose. But anyway, the Four of Wands, I don't mean to get off on a tangent. The Four of Wands is saying we need to wrap it up. We need to wrap it up and we need to move forward. Okay, now Path of the Serpent, let's talk about these cards. You have your Taurus power card. Okay, I was saving this one. This is the Prince of Pentacles. And this is a fixed earth energy. This represents the Taurus energy in action. Of course, this is a card that doesn't really like change. And so this is kind of a stubborn consistency in a way. This is saying that we're doing the same thing over and over again, that we're showing up every day, we're very reliable, we're consistent, we're persistent, and we're not easily pushed off course. This is a card that sometimes finds it difficult to change. It is literally that stubborn energy. That I might be hearing little whispers that say, I gotta change my life, change my life, change my life. But it's like, no, like a good worker. If it doesn't come from the boss, I'm not gonna change what I'm doing. So we keep doing what we've been doing day in and day out because that's how we've learned. That's how I've been taught. That's how it's been working. If I'm going to change the way I do something, I need a good reason why. And it's got to come from the boss, not just from my coworker that says, oh, hey, they want you to start, building the machine the other way around or something, right? Or put the bottom up here or whatever. And we say, no. I say, if they want me to change the way I do it, someone from up top's got to come and tell me. I think that's what's happening. Okay? I think someone from upper management here is coming and telling you, hey, we've got to change the way we do things now. It's not just we're getting these little thoughts and feelings, or it's like our friend told us. No, this is coming from on high. Okay? So it's like that employee energy that's just saying, this is the way I've been told to do it, and I'm going to keep doing it until the boss comes and tells me that they want me to do it differently. Okay? And I think that's very smart. That's how you kind of keep your job. That's why you kind of have been there for a long time, right? But now we're getting those whispers that are saying it's time to change, because I think that the Prince of Pentacles doesn't really realize that what they're doing now doesn't have the same meaning or satisfaction that it once did. It's kind of like, this is the employee who's here building the birdhouses. And they're saying, okay, I've been told to build birdhouses. I'm going to build the birdhouses. Every day, show up, clock in, build the birdhouse. Okay, we're getting these whispers around the factory floor. They're saying, hey, we're not supposed to be building birdhouses anymore. They want us to build, a doghouse. Everything, well, I'm going to keep building the birdhouse until someone comes and tells me directly to build something else. And that's like a good employee, right? Because we don't know yet. When we're in this energy, we don't know, back here with our Knight of Swords, that they don't need birdhouses anymore. But we don't want to get in trouble for taking it upon ourselves to start building the doghouse, because we don't know. That's the message that's coming in. Spirit's trying to knock on your door and tell you, stop building the birdhouse. We're switching to dog houses now. The birdhouses, nobody wants them anymore. Nobody's buying the birdhouses. There's no reason to make them. It's a silly example, silly analogy, but I think you understand the energy flow. In the environment, you have your Princess of Cups, and we feel the feelings. Okay, so sticking to our factory floor analogy, this is kind of like those other employees that are so excited they're running around and they're whispering to you, hey, we're going to start building dog houses. They don't need birdhouses anymore. We need to stop doing this. And you're thinking, yeah, right, I'm not going to listen to you. The Prince of Pentacles, the earth energy, or your established behavior, is not going to listen to what seems like your whimsical heart that says, we're not going to build birdhouses anymore. We're going to build dog houses, or we're going to build human houses. I don't know. So the Princess of Cups is kind of the way that we might write off these messages as not from spirit, not from the divine, but it's just my fleeting heart that is, that is just on a whim, just wants other things. It's just my little desires, that's all. It's just my day-to-day fluctuation. It's just my silly heart. Really what they are messages from the divine. What they really are messages from this Prince of Cups inside of you. See, these two positions are very intimately connected in the Dove and Serpent spread, as are these two, okay? But right now these two are very connected. Because what we might be writing off as just my whim, my fantasy, I'm just daydreaming, I'm just imagining things, I'm just having silly old heart, wishes and things. No, it really is a message from your deeper soul. That's being projected outward as these fluctuations of your heart that you're kind of feeling like, something in me feels like I'm not supposed to be building birdhouses anymore. I'm supposed to be building dog houses or human houses or some bigger thing. But we might not trust in this because it feels like it's just a fleeting, emotion. It's just a whim. It's just a whimsical fantasy or something, right? But that's kind of, that's the way this is manifesting. And it's kind of like it's the fish in the percolator in Twin Peaks. It's there, and it's just like, no, you're not supposed to ask. You're not supposed to. That doesn't mean anything. Just ignore that. That's not part of the story. Just forget about it. I'm just being silly. I'm just seeing something that's not really there. It's just my imagination and playing tricks on me. It's just my fleeting fantasies. Okay, and that's the way your Taurus energy, your general energy, is rejecting the Princess of Cups, thinking that, well, I have all these little desires, but these are just ego desires. They're just kind of base, emotions and things that I don't need to listen to. I think you do. I think those are the whispers. I think you need to look at those. Those are, things that should not be there, but they are there. Okay? And those are the feelings. Those are the whispers. Those are the things that you're kind of feeling yourself attracted to different things, less attracted to this, and something's pulling me over here. No, I'm just being silly. No, there's a reason why you're being kind of pulled in different directions now. There's a reason why these feelings are starting to happen again. Okay. And I think dreams are a very important part of this for you. I think that's a major way that this spiritual consciousness is communicating with you. Yeah. The next card is in the 9th position, the specter, fear, worry, concern, the anxiety, the Ace of Pentacles. The biggest obstacle for you is taking that first step. These two cards are very connected. This is the biggest thing we can imagine, and this is that first step we take to get there. This is South America or Northern Europe or whatever place it is, and this is like, okay, I've gotten the ticket. I got to get on the plane. Okay, the Ace of Pentacles is a gift from the universe. It's the ticket to ride. It's Spirit saying, here. I don't know, I feel like everywhere you look, you kind of see like some sort of indication. Let's say it is like, Northern Europe or something. Everywhere you go, there's like an ad for Northern Europe, or there's some sort of a hint of that place, or you see a commercial on TV, or you're on the bus and you see a map with it, and there's some like piece of bubble gum right there stuck onto Northern Europe, right? Something like that, or there's constant suggestions. That's kind of this over here, and you think, no, I'm just seeing patterns where there aren't any. This is the idea that Spirit is really giving you stronger and stronger clues. It's time to do it. It's time to go. It's time to follow this dream. Sometimes these are those hopes, wishes, dreams, and aspirations that we might write them off as being silly, childish, or whatever. But they're in there. You feel them. And it's Spirit's way of saying it's time to take that first step. Of course, to do that, we have to get through our 7 of Swords, which is the self-doubt and the criticism and the mistrust of our own intuition. We have to have thoughts. We have to think it through. We have to come up with a plan. But we don't want to ignore that inner voice or that spiritual consciousness. This is the card of distraction that we might think, no, I've got to continue to build the birdhouses no matter what anybody tells me. I'm just going to turn the music up louder in my headphones. I'm going to put on some white noise or something because nope, I don't want to listen. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to do what anybody says until the boss comes downstairs out of their office and tells me to stop building the birdhouses because I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, that means that we're not trusting our own voice, our own intuition. Because what it is, it's kind of like, well, this is the boss kind of telling you. We may not trust that. We may not recognize it as being the boss, as being that voice from deep within us that's saying it's time to make this change, it's time to go through this doorway, etc. Let's look at our mystery card, yeah? Okay. Well, let's see here. What do we think it's going to be? Well, I think it's going to be another ace, maybe an Ace of Cups, maybe the Empress, maybe the Princess of Pentacles. It could be. Princess of Pentacles is sometimes a Northern Europe type of card, and it would represent a kind of like arriving in a new place, maybe a Page of Pentacles, right? Arriving in a new place and thinking, this is where I'm going to build my home. You know, it's like you buy the plot of land and you go there, you pick up the first, scoop of soil and you say, this is where I'm going to plant my garden. This is where I'm going to grow my life, So I kind of think it's going to be one of those types of cards, or I think the ace maybe. Might be a knight. It might be a knight of cups. It could be a queen of swords or a queen of cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Queen of Pentacles. Yes, because the queens, I'm sort of right. Little bell. The queens are always looking at the past. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles is kind of understanding the ending of all the queens are processing something ending. Okay, so we're looking at the past and we're understanding that this is ending now. So now it's kind of like your Prince of Pentacles is now realizing, okay, I understand now. I'm supposed to stop building the birdhouses. And then, of course, we're ready to sort of make that transition toward what am I supposed to start building? It's like first we have to stop building the birdhouse, retool the machine to start building whatever's next. Okay, so we're kind of looking at the past. We're looking at this and thinking, okay, wow, I understand now. They don't need any more birdhouses. It's like we're having that conversation with the boss. We say, okay, so they don't want any birdhouses anymore because nobody likes them. And so there's no point, there's no purpose in me building them anymore. Okay, I get it. I understand. I understand logically, logistically, why this path had to end. So now this card turns toward the future, starts looking that way, and says, what do I need to start doing, and how do I begin that? So the queens are always that turning point, understanding why something's ending, and sort of rolling that into whatever's coming next. Okay, so this is a turning point for you. Major turning point. The Queen of Pentacles is also your future self. I think either living with regret, still building the birdhouses and thinking, I knew I should have listened to my gut. I should have stopped building these birdhouses because now that's all I know how to do. It's like we get to the end of our life and we just think, God, all I built were birdhouses. Nobody liked them. Nobody wanted them. Okay. I don't feel any satisfaction or purpose in all of that work. Or we arrive in our future and we're very satisfied because of the choices that we made right now. Okay? It's all karma. The choice we make right now, that divine doorway of that Eon card, that choice is really going to determine who we become down the road. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram, we'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below in the video description. New readings for Taurus on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.